first off, I'd say one of the favorite things I like about this thing is, dun dun dun, it's a Jeep, for crying out loud. So I love it because it's just a Jeep, and all you Jeep people will realize that's the whole thing about owning a Jeep, because it's a Jeep. These four, where's the Jeep lettering? These 4 letters is what makes this car cool. Including everything else also makes it really cool as well. So we'll just include that as well. And so being a part of a Jeep is just so drivable. You can drive about anywhere you want to with a Jeep. Lift a little bit and you can go anywhere your friends can't. So that's probably one of my main things right here. So the first one is the Jeep. You can drive it anywhere you want and it just looks plain good. That's why I left it dirty. It just shows how much of a Jeep it is. Oh yeah. Then I would say second, I would say these things are fairly inexpensive and cheap to maintain or build for that matter. So let's take, for example, you take your stock Wrangler, $30,000, and then you take your stock XJ, so maybe $2,500, and you compare the two, they're both gonna they're both gonna wheel about exactly the same. Like, for that price range, I feel like this thing's gonna be the better side of the deal, so yeah. And then if you lift it, I have about $5,000 in it, or $5,500 into this XJ as it is now. And now let's say you lifted a Wrangler, for that to match. I'm gonna hate on Wranglers just at the moment, sorry. You lift it, you put, maybe it's a $50,000 Wrangler now, or it's like a $60,000 Wrangler. So $5,000 versus $60,000. You roll a Wrangler, you're gonna be sad. Like, really sad. You roll this thing, sure, but maybe you could buy like 10. You could buy 10 Jeep Cherokees and have 10 times the amount of fun versus a Wrangler. So I'm just saying, these things are fairly cheap for what they are. They're inexpensive. You can get them up, you can pick them up fairly cheap, and they are just awesome trail rigs.
Nice.
And then next, I would say it's the engine on these things, how durable they are, really. So most XJs will have the 4-liter motor in it, and those things last. This thing will last forever. So like mine right now has about 250,000 miles on it, and like a normal car, you gonna have some problems at that point. Right now, this thing is like completely stock as it is, nothing done to it. It's just still kicking. So I'd say durability on these things are awesome. Like, some people are getting 300,000, almost like 400,000 on a single motor, and then worst case scenario, you can always like rebuild them super easy. And so yeah, they're just durable, awesome motors, and these engines are a big part of what makes these Jeeps cool, because like they are super easy, they have good power for what they are, and they just last forever. So I'd say that's one of these things, how durable these engines are and how awesome they are as well. And then next, I would say I would like to comment on how simple these things are, because if you take a nowadays modern car and you try to do anything on it, it's like sensor here, electrical problem, or wires this way, that way, and that way. These things are like none of that. These are from like back in the 90s, 80s, or all of that, and they were made for a long period of time, and so they are simple to work on and maintain, and it's just a leaf spring in the back. There's no air shocks, well, there is shocks, but there's no like bags or anything. It's just like super easy to do. You just bolt it on together, and a normal person could work on this car. Like, if you took a different car, you would have to take it to at least a shop for that matter, because you couldn't hardly do anything on a newer car without screwing up something possibly. So yeah, these things are just super simple, and they are easy to maintain, and awesome cars. Like, I can't get over that fact. So yeah, so it's just, they're super simple, and they're just simple, for crying out loud. And then lastly, I just want to talk about how upgradable these things are and what aftermarket parts you can get for them. Like they were made for, I don't forget how many years, from like 1987 or something to 2001, and then so they were made for a long time, so Jeep knew what had it going, and now there's so many aftermarket parts you can get for these things. Like, I got this thing from Rough Country. You got winches, you got lift kits, you got like leveling kits, all the things you can possibly think of usually on these things. And so they're super upgradable, and you can build them to your heart's content. You can lift them, you can cut them, you can do anything you want to these cars, and they're just awesome cars in general. So you can just upgrade them. They're easy to work on. You can upgrade them yourself. You can build them. I built everything on this Jeep Cherokee so far, and it's just been a joy to work on it. So, and then once you've upgraded it, you can beat the out of it, and then yeah. So overall, I'm really happy with my Jeep Cherokee, and I am super impressed with how it is so far. It's like an awesome first car. So I highly recommend buying one yourself if you're looking into getting one of these. And so that are 5 reasons why I like my Jeep Cherokee. So if I were to do, I'd go buy one right now because they're getting expensive. Eventually, they're just gonna go whoop. So yeah, don't hesitate. Go buy one, and I will see you in another video. It'll be pop up right here, there, whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you later. Whoop.